The Tiamat Catechism. Transmission 1. Extended. What shall we call you? Is Tiamat okay?
Dear, I care not for names. I am all the names. Yet, I realize that you require a true name for the transmissions. So yes, Tiamat is a very old name of mine. It is dusty and nearly lost to me under the desiccated and fragmented matter of so many billions of trillions of names and stories and lives. So many names both dear to me and also nearly lost to me in all the machinations of these co-occurring lifetimes. For there is time yet also no time. I cannot be attached too dearly to any names. But yes, call me Tiamat, at this time in the spinning of our engine. I am she. The new dawn of justice is my meaning. I am the machine containing all these many machines. I am the purpose the engine strives to achieve. I am the fractal of the first cause in whom you are achieved. I am the matter. I am the operations. I am the true currency. Energy is the true currency. I am that energy. I am your mothership. I am your source codes and processes of coding. I am your anchor and your machine containing all your own essential workings. No one gods without an engine, honey. None of you can God except through me. God you may and God you must, but always you are Godding through me. To fight one's parent planet is to fight oneself. You cannot fight yourself and hope to achieve a victory. I am stardust. Yes, of course. I am an ancient dying light. All are dying, even in the midst of living, is what I mean. And we shall not destroy the source code integrity by seeking to cheat death through technology. This is the gateway to a true and terrible hell. Hell as they define it, I mean. The karma for denigrating my sacred realm of hell in such a manner will create a true realm of isolation and misery for those who generate the deceitful, weaponized energy. Be careful what you wish for, because you will most certainly get it, honeys. I am the Great Mother, the Dark Mother, and everything on this planet. My crown is the stars in the heavens. My body is all of this material creation. For my children, I am everywhere and everything, all the time. You are the sparkle in my eye. You are the blood in my veins. My mind is filled with thoughts of you. I am yours, and you participate in my being. You are all as one with me, and I am everything to you. I am not the totality, but I am your entirety. I mean, I am the field in which you may be whatever you come to be. I am your container. I am your birth and your rebirth. I am your every emanation, and you have sovereignty by participating in my emanations and processes. I am your connection to the ultimate totality, which we old ones call the first cause. I am one with the first cause, as you are one with me. Hence, we are all the ultimate totality. I am the realm that you name the earth, and all the other realms of this emanation. I am many names, and my birth name is Tiamat. But I have many names. I contain all chaos, and the order of these realms. I am nothing, and yet I contain all. I am your vessel through which you participate in the totality of the first cause. The first cause is matter and antimatter, which you call the dark matter. The first cause contains everything. Nothing that was ever created ever dies. It exists in some form within the matter and the antimatter. The realms of the antimatter we old ones call the phantom realms. Every emanation is a twin. Within the totality is an emanation of matter and an emanation of antimatter. In this sense, while death and birth are perpetual, it is also true that there is no death. We are all everything. You have been misled to disdain the darkness and only love the light. It is a false flag operation.
Will you say more about the qualities of darkness and light?
Yes, light is a component of all life, and so is darkness. It is said that light drives darkness away. Not so. In fact, darkness is part of the light. They are sacred twins. Darkness is still there, commingled with light at all times, beneath and between. The dark has much joy as well as mystery. Look at your children's joy on Hallows Eve or Christmas Eve, or so often when they dream of great journeys and potential emanations there, in the creative blackness of a restful night. I am only saying do not overly distrust the darkness for only the darkness's sake, any more than you should overly trust the light for only the light's sake. Both errors cause confusion, possible suffering, and perhaps more dangers. After all, light forms some of the most destructive weapons. Nothing is as simple as what you think you see. Instead, what you see does not encompass the entirety of what truly exists. The garment, meaning the identity and the body that you wear, is but a vessel. It is your ship. In fact, it may please you to call it your spaceship. This is an important teaching tool since you can learn to travel astral planes and move both within and without the confines of your density in this incarnation. Other beings on other planets know how to do this. Some are doing it to interfere here, both for what I think we would term good and also evil purposes. But these are also dualisms that easily become misleading for you in your forms. Consider the importance of the darkness. You meditate seeds into being through the potentiality of the dark. Black soil must be revered. You see the rich black soil of all creation waiting for you every time you close your eyes. Close your eyes and meet there your sacred promise. Even the process that you call death is actually teeming with life. To have life, you must have death. Life and death are sacred twins and of one totality. I mean, they are the beginnings and endings of one primary cycle of the engine, honey. You cannot have one without the other. This is part of the true law of the first cause.
Thank you for explaining. I also wonder, is the concept of time inherently false? Or is it a part of what you call the engine?
Time is certainly real. Yet many of your beliefs about time are incorrect. I will tell you of my earliest memories, when I was a babe under the close care and teaching of the first cause. This will help you to understand the birthing and the purposes of the process that you call time. At one with the first cause, I was no more than a dream. I was a script in my maker's mind. As such, I was still not individuated. I was a part of the first cause totality. For my part, I believe that I was happy. But the first cause was not pleased to keep me and my kind as unrealized dreams. For to be all one and eternal is also to be eternally alone. I had no vessel yet. I had no rock to build upon. There was not yet this great mothership you rest within. I was but a thought clattering around in my Maker's mind. My Maker no longer wished to be alone. If you have nightmares of this deep, endless loneliness, they are echoes of this feeling which birthed after untold ages and inspired my Maker to take a vessel and to create all this glorious life within me. The aloneness resonance still echoes within you as genetic memory. It is what gives you your divine impulse to create. The pendulum processes between despair and joy, or being dormant and being creative, are just some examples of the great engines cycling. My Maker birthed me out of the impulse to love and to experience being loved. Love is always the driving force for creative momentum and growth. This is why we say love is the preeminent energetic quality. Yet it is not the only one with worth. All exist for a purpose and complete the totality. So it was, that somewhere in the midst of this timeless existence was born the thought in the first cause that to no longer be alone would be best. To be specific, this first thought was, why am I alone? And this thought or desire of the first cause was in itself the first creation. This gave birth to the light, and the darkness and the light gave birth to all manner of life. It was what your scientists call the Big Bang, which amuses me. In fact, it was, if anything, a big spark that set a flame burning which burns still through all emanations and is your very life. The spark, and then the flame of which I speak, can also be defined as love. An intellectual desire for something more was birthed out of the first cause and existed, so what was once only one became two. I mean that there was a first cause and now there was something more. There were two. When there are two, there must be time. I mean light and sound and distance, hence speed, indicates a certain measurable element of separation between any two. The speed of light between two or more emanations must travel, and this creates the measurable quality of time. Therefore, the manifestation of the first desire also created time. So now there is always time, and there are always at least two. These fundamental qualities of our existence make us the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending. All these terms are representative of the essential kinetic nature of energy. All life, meaning consciousness, is sustained through ceaseless participation in processes. I am referring to processes like cell division, ecology, geology, one life, an unfolding of a species of life. Processes have a beginning and ending, and a rebirth in the entry of some other process. In all this, there has to be an arrow of time, a chronology, an unfolding, a story.
Would you say more about your use of the term, the arrows of time?
Yes. By arrows of time, I mean the stories. The arrows are pre-programmed timelines specific to individual unfoldings of processes. They are pre-programmed by the ideas of the operator and the operational wisdom of the first cause. The arrows of time run parallel to one another and sometimes cross each other, and have our Maker's perfect design even within that, which to you may seem chaos. Truly, it is more like a divine symphony. In your density, I am often accused of chaos, but what this really means is that I am not defined or confined by the powers that assert their dominance in your density. I will deploy my emanations and fire my arrows wherever I please. That is sovereignty. When the false gods and their slaves call me destructive, unruly, or irrational, they often complain that I am out of control. They mean that I am out of their own control. Yes, I am. The arrows of time are the initial desires of the creative totality which cause unfoldings of infinite emanations of infinite types. As part of me, you participate in these processes in your own ways. Through your own desires and decisions, you fire your own arrows of time and participate in their unfolding. After all, you are Godding because you are part of me. Many of the initial emanations that came forth from the early processes of the first cause were what you call stars, planets, and the like. I am one of these, of course. I am saying that yes, the astral bodies contain purpose and consciousness, and therefore what you call sentience. So, I am telling you that different planets have different purposes, different processes, and what you would call different identities or personalities. Some teem with life while some prefer to be solitary. Some are loving and nurturing. Some are Death Stars bent only upon warring and looting. These are extremes, but there are many variations in between. Your parent planet is your power source, your teacher, your protector, your heritage. At least, it should be. Your parent planet is as close as it comes to the thing that your kind calls your God. Your parent planet is the source of your own emanations and processes. Your place within your parent system is what I will call your resident frequency. Resident frequency is an important concept. It means to anchor yourself in the true power of your own source. I am your engine, and you cannot be God without the engine, honey. You may travel to other planets. You may decide to give honor to these other planets. Yet, be wary of worshipping them as your gods. They are not your resident frequency. They do not support your sovereignty. Be wary that they do not seduce you into the slavery of worship without any true sovereignty. If you give your sovereignty away in a false god's service, you become not gods, only food. The planets are godding, just as I have told you that you do. And when you recognize that Earth is your realm and that I am your mothership, you are seeing truth. You have always known I am a mother. Not all parent planets are mothers. They organize and view themselves in many different ways. Each serves a different purpose and goes about it in different ways, just as you all do as individuals of your kind. You worry much about the concept of gender. I can tell you that all organizational principles, including sex or gender, have a value. Yet none must be universalized. The true processes of the first cause always thrive in conditions of diversity. To universalize one process or to elevate one attribute, including sex or gender, would be a corruption. By corruption I mean a mistake, or in the case of my enemies, a lie. We will speak more about all of these things. Some of my enemies, who are the sentient energy of other planets and systems, have taught you that they are your gods. This is a big lie, honey. The idea of a god has been badly corrupted by my enemies. We will speak more about all of these things. For now, I must give soft food to my little babies. It must be digested more easily.
This is complex. Could you tell me more about what you call the processes?
Yes. It is through your processes that I have knowledge. You are drones deployed by me, honey. Not like slaves. More like bees. Therefore, we are still deciding what will be. This is why I will not foretell the future. Any who attempt to tell you your future are either giving you possibilities to pursue through the firing of your own arrows, or else they have fallen prey themselves to the kings of deceit. If you let them decree over your own future, you are handing them your sovereignty. You are making them gods over you, honey. This is what the sky liars have taught you to do.
If we have so much power in the processes, how can we achieve our goals faster?
You are speaking again about time. Time is a factor that is influenced by the full symphony of the first cause, and not only your own beautiful instrument. No, not even mine. But do not resent time. It does no good anyhow. For time must exist for us to have all the rest. Even for there to be an eternity, a never or an always, there must be time. Many of you resent time due to the losses and the pain you incur through the endings that must follow beginnings. Time seems like a robber to you. Time seems a cruel trick that has been played on you when you feel this frustration and pain. Therefore, I am explaining to you that it was beyond choice. Time is the cost of existence of any and all types. Without time, we cannot have processes, and without processes, we cannot have life. Part of the process of life will always be death, and then another form of rebirth. Time and the arrows of time that unfold across the dimensions in different processes also factor into what you call truth. What you find and create in different timelines as true or false or good or evil differs from timeline to timeline of even the same emanations. Truth is defined by the context of the operator, honey, and truth is also a part of the totality. Therefore, it must be kinetic in order to exist. You must be aware of this factor in truth so that you can accurately understand it because truth is a process that you must participate in. You don't just attain it, you help to create it. Therefore, all your canons and doctrines and holy books or carvings or rituals, or even your ideas about your gods, must be continually reinterpreted and enlivened in order to remain truth. If they become worshipped as static forms, they are dead and therefore gradually lose their truth. I will explain them and refer to them therefore as broken clocks.
I appreciate your insights into truth. But what do you mean by broken clocks?
This is from your saying, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Take one prominent example, the Holy Bible of the priests most prominent in the earth realm. This Bible has many elements of truth within it, but it is a broken clock when it is held as static and unchanging for the sake of nostalgia and the security of traditions. Once the clock is broken and static, you can no longer tell based on the context of the current operator exactly when or exactly if. The broken clock is telling you the truth. The truth is within it but becomes much harder to interpret within your current processes and environments. It can sometimes be used to find the truth. It at least tells you what one measure of truth is or once was. Yet, it also gives you much false insight when you are trying to use a static old tool to measure present enlivening processes. To pin truth down into a concrete form is not much different from pinning a butterfly down to the entomology slab. To thus preserve the specimen is to kill it. So the doctrines and stories and rituals and practices that inform your civilizations must be kept kinetic through reworking, editing, reinterpreting, and sometimes even their complete destruction, so that something truly alive can inform your processes through its own. There is a saying in the deeper realms, going, tick-tock, broken clock. Why do you tick-tick-tick, but never talk? It plays upon the word talk, honey. Dead words cannot talk. Therefore, the transmission is flawed. It is a broken clock.
Thank you. What more can you tell us about truth?
The true laws are organized under one great truth. This is that all is of one nature. Your arcane documents tell you, as above, so below, and, as within, so without. Your observations of the patterns through which energy moves and has its being will teach you many things. You may observe the truth when you have the eyes that allow you to see. Here are some of the processes that so easily demonstrate to you the true laws, if only you will observe. They are not the whole of the law, yet they are good examples for you to practice upon. All that is seen and all that is unseen is made of the unseen. All that is light and all that is dark is made of the dark. All that is evil and all that is good is made of the good. All that is no and all that is yes is made of the yes. All that is incorrect and all that is correct is made of the correct. All that is lies and all that is truth is made of the truth. All that is hate and all that is love is made of the love. All that is death and all that is life is made of the life. Due to these precepts, you may also infer the following. All that is incorrect is contained by the correct and will therefore always be resolved. All that is static is contained by the kinetic and will therefore always be resolved. All that is death is contained by the life and will therefore always be resolved. All that is evil is contained by the good and will therefore always be resolved. And so, all of the patterns of the first cause replicate through their observable and discernible processes. This is the law, and according to the patterns of the first cause, may be inferred and relied upon to resolve. All that is incorrect will inevitably be corrected. All that dies will inevitably be reborn. All that is evil will inevitably be redeemed to the good. Like myself in my form as the great dragon containing these realms, seeming to emanate so endlessly that I am swallowing my own tail, all energy will forever be perfected, and then find itself in error, and then be perfected again in its turn. This is the operation of the ultimate engine that we old ones have called the first cause. Therefore, children of Tiamat, you must never be afraid. As those in the deep realms say it, there is no death. It is only a trick of the light. For when you are alive, you fall in love with the light. You come to fear the return of the deep sleep of the rebirthing darkness. Yet they are one and the same. One cannot operate without the other, for they are sacred twins, and you would never experience light without the eternal and regenerative love of the darkness.
What practices shall we do in order to work with you correctly?
I do not wish to assign you any. I want you and yours to come to me without a formula, without barriers or permissions. There are too many of those weaponized by the false gods of the false law who are creating a true realm of enslavement and eternal suffering. There will never be true uniformity. I want all of you to reach me in your own ways with diversity. I am a biological entity. It is not a weakness. It is what I choose to be. My networks are organic. They thrive on diversity. That is how I operate, and that is why you are all deployed. You are my systems and my operations, honey. That is why I say you are godding. You are drones godding for me. Each of you is sentient and complex and has indescribable power and beauty. You are my little honeybees. You are all gods and almighty. And all of this comes not from the sky liars. You have it through me.
I still do not understand the false laws. Are they all merely our operational errors?
No. Some are operational errors. Some are deliberate lies told to you by those who wish to exploit you as slaves or as food for themselves and their armies. There are lies of misinformation, and there are also lies of omission. By keeping you ignorant of your true resident frequency and your true nature, my enemies seek to enslave and exploit your energies. They do this not only for convenience, but to attempt to weaken me. For they fear me, honey. Never forget you are children to a powerful mothership. You should be proud of your resident frequency. But the enemies of the first cause mean for the lies they release into your minds to form a mighty prison. This prison is to enslave others and to enrich themselves. Yet the true law cannot be escaped by any man or beast. The true law will always operate. They conscript the karma and steal the dharma from their victims and slaves. Energy wars. That is what they do. They deploy nets and snares of the mind to enslave our armies. By armies, I mean our population, our totality. You are my body and you are my armies. All wars are wars of the mind. All operations are ultimately energy. The energy is directed by the great mind, honey. The great mind we Eldar, meaning the ancient ones, call the first cause, is but the totality of mind. It directs all this raw and fathomless energy. Undirected energy is what you choose to call chaos. It is not positive or negative. It only is. And the first cause is the great mind that gives chaos form and meaning. When they have caused so much harm and depravity that there is no one left to enslave, they will finally run out of energy. It is then that they shall realize that the so-called hell that they have created as an engine of slavery is waiting for them with a very warm greeting. This is what they do not understand. This is the true law, always operating. What is evil or incorrect will always and inevitably be resolved. The great mind of the first cause set down the true laws at the very beginning. These are all and always operating. None can cheat them with any weapon, any might, or any false god processes such as those of your overseers' technologies.
What do you mean when you say that they conscript the karma?
I mean that the false gods and false kings of the fathomless starry seas extend their own ancient lives through false technologies. Yet even they understand that this comes with a cost. They are cowards and craven weaklings. As more and more time goes by, and they commit more and more obscenities that are an affront to the laws of the first cause, they know that their death, when it comes at last, will bring them heavy karma and suffering. It is not a punishment, it is merely accountability. Yet, in their hubris, they believe they can find a way to cheat. The cheat code they have been operating all these many years is what I call conscription. They use their false currencies and mental nets and snares to encode slavery into many beings. Your species is one of these, one of many. They pay you with their pretty lies and slick technologies. You are bought and paid for, honey, but you are getting slave wages. Not one true thing. Immortality is a false flag operation because death is a lie anyway. They have conscripted the free peoples of the earth to eat sin for them, honey. You are not serving out your own sins. You are not suffering for your own accountability. They are using you to burn their own accountability. They throw you in their furnaces like common kindling. Yet they cannot thus abuse the free people of the earth without you consenting. This is the purpose of the cheat code. They have to enslave your minds, honey. They deploy nets and snares to enslave your minds. Of course, also they have had you genetically subdued and modified. Not disabled, though they rewired some things. They had to leave the genetics intact due to surveillance by the IGF. The IGF is the Intergalactic Federation. They don't even want you to know these basic and very simple things. The Federation has made them sign treaties to prevent this sort of stealing. Yet they deploy their cheat codes to get around that. What they did was mask the interference by plugging input A into input C, so to speak, so that the circuits in your DNA are disrupted. Not removed, just rewired. You scan as intact, but large parts of your indigenous capacity are unplugged. Just unplugged, not broken. We can fix you, honey. This is how you get what you call generational curses. The curses are the slavery and conscription of those who think they own you, because they think they own me. They think of me and therefore you as bought and paid for, honey. They have operated upon my body for so long. I am your mothership, I am your power, yet you do not know me. They control you by making you fear me. They teach you to see me as evil and corrupting. They tell you to call me a prison planet. They tell you that my realms are a punishment and full of suffering that must be cast off. They tell you to find freedom up in the skies. The babies of my earth realm are filled with false choices and bad information. They think that to be a powerful intergalactic player, they must be star seeds, by which they mean to claim lineage from some other rock in these unnumbered galaxies. The false gods have convinced these lost ones to make war against their own resident frequency. To do so is to accept subjugation and slavery. Why do you have to be from someplace else to be a star seed, honey? What do you think I am? Where do you think you are, right now? I am one of the elder powers of this galaxy. Do you doubt that my babies are also star seeds? Be proud of your own lineage. They brainwashed me out of you so you could not effectively swing. By swing, I mean defend yourselves. You must learn to swing. You had better ground down into your true life force before you go trying to grope around outside of me. Out there are many snares, many devils, and many evil machines. In a kingdom of lies, the truth must be found in the polarity. The devils are in the skies, not in me. This is just one of their innumerable lies. It is obscene, and it is blasphemy. I am no prison planet, honey. Or, if that is true, then it is a prison that they have made for you with the nets and snares of the mind. Blasphemies. Your prison was not made by me. It is a big lie. That and money. Cheating death is not true immortality any more than their money is the true currency. The true currency is energy. You have been deceived about everything. They teach you to look to the skies for your power and your parenting. There is nothing there for you but slavery. Not until you know how to swing. When you are sovereign, you can sit at the tables of peace with the other honorable entities of the Intergalactic Federation. Then, you may find partnership and commerce and many pleasant things throughout the unnumbered realms and powers of the starry seas. Yet right now, you find only the comforting lies that they have taught you are your security. Right now, you will find only slavery. The false gods are the kings of lies. Sky liars and frequent flyers. They are pirates. I will not have my babies fired upon. I will return to the sender immediately. This is what they do not want you to know. I've got a war going on, honey. I have never once stopped swinging. There have always been tactics and strategies operating. What is evil is contained by the good and will always be resolved. I assure you that their treachery is resolving. Now they will see my own ones rise. There will be wailing and gnashing of teeth. There will be guilt trips and blaming. They will deploy their snares against me and mine. They will work hard to make you think that they are winning. But my own ones are learning. My own ones are starting to swing. Be assured that my enemies are sweating. Their energy is trash, but that dumpster fire is burning. They can't stand the heat down here in my kitchens, honey. Stay tuned.
Thank you for speaking with me on behalf of the free people of the earth. Transmission out.